The fake young master lost the game on purpose, choosing the dare to kiss my fiancée, but the villain boss unexpectedly heard my inner thoughts. Taste ask. Didn't expect this scheming fake young master to collect photos of the big shot and even sleep hugging them every day. Wonder if the boss saw this scene. Would she be disgusted enough to puke? Lu Yuwei coldly glanced at Xiaozi and my voice rang in her ears again. If I ran over and kissed the boss, would she throw me into the sea to feed the sharks? Lu Yuwei's hand clearly trembled. The wine in her hand almost spilled. This guy is really bold, daring to fantasize about me, and even wanting to kiss me. I was completely oblivious, rubbing my chin in thought. Compared to pissing off Xiaozi into death, kissing the villain boss and getting thrown out seems like a small price to pay. Hearing this, Lu Yuwei's mouth twitched suspiciously. She actually wanted to see what this guy she'd only met twice would do in the end. But such an interesting soul. If I took him home, it would definitely be fun. The two of them each had their own schemes. I was also ready, standing up under everyone's gaze, walking towards the villain boss Lu Yuwei. Su Yangshu and her friends were all stunned. Zhang Yichen, what are you doing? Isn't Yangshu right here? I looked at Su Yangshu with disgust. A dirty woman kissed by another man. I don't give a damn about her. Xiaozian looked at me aggrievedly. Little brother, I already explained to you. We were just playing a game. Why don't you believe us? Just look at how you two were acting just now. If there was a bed here, you guys would have rolled onto it already. After speaking, I rolled my eyes in contempt, not bothering with them anymore. When approaching Lu Yuwei, I remembered the rumors about her, heard that the boss and her best friend are a couple. If I kiss her, will she drag me out to be torn apart by horses? Hearing my inner thoughts, Lu Yuwei's face darkened. A couple with my best friend? Who on earth started such a rumor? Xian saw I was walking towards Lu Yuwei, his hands unconsciously clenched tight, staring intently at me. The expression on his face began to distort. When I walked up to Lu Yuwei, seeing the exquisite, beautiful face of the villain boss up close, couldn't help but be mesmerized inside. The villain boss is just too beautiful. No wonder she could be the white moonlight of that scheming fake young master. I made up my mind, stepped forward and said, "Beauty, can you do me a favor? Help with what?" Lu Yuwei looked up at me and asked. I hesitated, staring at Lu Yuwei, wondering if I should say it straight out. If I asked the boss to let me kiss her, will she throw me out? Or should I just kiss her? My mind spun with 100 thoughts, finally staring at Lu Yuwei. Under everyone's gaze, suddenly leaned down and kissed her on the lips. Lu Yuwei's friend stared in shock. Sister Yuwei actually got forcibly kissed. This guy probably won't see tomorrow's sun. After I kissed Lu Yuwei, turned around intending to run, but was pulled back by Lu Yuwei. Want to run after kissing? Looking at Lu Yuwei's ice-cold face, I want to cry but had no tears. If I knew this, I wouldn't have played. Lu Yuwei asked coldly, "Why did you kiss me?" I cowardly replied, "I lost a game with them." Lu Yuwei narrowed her eyes at me, clearly very dissatisfied with this answer. I explained, trying to survive, I don't like them. But inside, it was a different tone. Dirty cheating woman. Whoever wants her can have her. How can a cheater be as sweet as the villain boss? Lu Yuwei was amused by my inner voice. You like me? I looked at Lu Yuwei's overly charming, beautiful face. Nodded repeatedly. Who wouldn't like a villain boss this beautiful? Heard the boss has a super nice body. Wonder if it's true. Seeing my smitten look, Lu Yuwei laughed in exasperation, raised her hand and flicked my forehead. It's one thing to kiss me, but you dare to crave my body. I looked at Lu Yuwei unconvinced. You didn't. You don't crave my body. Lu Yuwei's friend, who was silently watching the situation unfold, ended up being startled by Lu Yuwei's craving my body remark. Startled enough to spit out all the wine. Lu Yuwei and I both turned to look. The other person guiltily waved their hands. You two carry on. Carry on. Did Yuwei take the wrong medicine today? Getting forcibly kissed. Not getting angry is one thing, but also pulling a handsome guy aside to flirt. I looked at Lu Yuwei with even more horror. This isn't right. Villain boss, why is it different from the plot? When I was about to retort to Lu Yuwei, Su Yangshu on the side finally couldn't watch anymore, stepped forward with a dark face. Zhang Yichen, what are you doing? Get over here right now. I got a rush of recklessness, sat straight down on the sofa, hugged Lu Yuwei, looked innocently at Su Yangshu and said, Miss Su, it's just a game. After all, why are you so angry? After all, I haven't performed a French kiss in front of you yet. Xiao Ziyan looked at me, gritting his teeth. I know you hate me, but Yangshu is your fiancé after all. Doing this right in front of Yangshu, hugging another woman, isn't that too much? Hearing that, I rolled my eyes, spoke in a sarcastic tone. So you do know Su Yangshu is my fiancé? When you were right in front of me, French kissed her for a whole minute. Why didn't you think of this? See me kiss, your white moonlight makes you unhappy. Huh, or should I kiss her one more time? Piss off this shameless green tea guy to death. Lu Yuwei looked at me beside her. This guy dares to kiss me again. Just as she thought this, she felt a soft sensation on her lips. Lu Yuwei narrowed her eyes slightly, looking at me with a mischievous look. You are very bold. My lips curled up slightly. If I weren't bold, how would I dare to kiss you? I knew Lu Yuwei wouldn't do anything to me, so I spoke more casually. Xiaozi was fuming with anger. Yichen, no matter how much you hate us, you shouldn't just pick someone at random for revenge like this. Su Yingshu looked at me with a gloomy face, not believing that the person who used to like her would choose someone else at this moment. Zhang Yichen, come here. I sat beside Lu Yue, my fingers gently caressing her cheek, looking up at Su Yingshu opposite me. Who the hell are you? Su Yingshu gritted her teeth, angrily said. Zhang Yichen, don't forget, I am your fiancé. I immediately laughed out of anger, stood up from the sofa, walked up to Su Yingshu, raised my hand and slapped Su Yingshu right in the face. Zhang Yichen, what are you doing? Xiao Zian saw me get physical with Su Yingshu, shouted furiously, then looked at her swollen red face with pity. Yingshu, are you okay? Does it hurt? I watched the drama unfolding before my eyes, laughed sarcastically, couldn't even help applauding the two of them. Truly a touching scene of a loving couple. Su Yingshu froze, awkwardly pushed Xiao Zian away, looked at me and said, apologize now and well let this slide. Apologize? I backhanded Su Yingshu with another slap. Do you like this kind of apology? Su Yingshu's friend finally reacted, hurriedly blocked the middle, looking at me with dissatisfaction. Zhang Yichen, what are you doing? Pointed at Su Yingshu, said angrily, what am I doing? Why don't you ask what Su Yingshu has done for Xiao Zian? Is there some misunderstanding? Someone who didn't know the situation asked. Misunderstanding. I recounted everything Su Yingshu had done for her friends to hear. 3 months ago, Su Yingshu invited me to go hiking, but while on the mountain, she got a call from Xiao Zian. Su Yingshu immediately abandoned me and left, even though I had sprained my ankle at the time. She even assumed I was faking it. A month ago, again because of Xiao Zian, Su Yan, during a heavy storm, left me by the roadside. That time caused me to have a high fever for a week. Fever so high it turned into pneumonia. Took 2 weeks to recover. There are many more incidents like that. If it wasn't a birthday, it was Valentine's Day. Whenever Su Yingshu was alone with me, she would immediately be called away by Xiao Zian with a single phone call. Su Yingshu's friends didn't know much about these things. Now hearing these words, they all felt Su Yingshu and Xiao Zian were too much. Now the two of them, right in front of me, in the name of a game, doing things only lovers would do, and you tell me it's just a game. Those who just thought I was making a big deal out of nothing, all lowered their heads, not daring to look me in the eye. Lu Yue frowned, looking at me. No wonder that time I met Zhang Yichen, why he was so miserable. That day was raining cats and dogs. I was only wearing a thin t-shirt, soaked to the bone in rainwater, pants covered in mud, mud splashed all over, didn't know where the shoes on my feet had been thrown. Bare feet were also bruised by the gravel on the road, turning purple, with some spots even bleeding. Lu Yue's friend leaned in close to her and said, Yue, this puppy of yours really looks like a gray wolf. Lu Yue said nothing, just silently looked at me, wanting to see how I would handle things next. I backhanded Xiao Zian right in the face. You like other people's women that much. If you don't steal them, you're not happy. Xiao Zian held his face, extremely aggrieved. Yichen, you misunderstood me. Su Yingshu gritted her teeth looking at me, angrily asked, Zhang Yichen, what on earth do you want to do? Do what? Su Yan, I officially inform you, the engagement between you and me ends here. From now on, we go our separate ways for marriage, unrelated to each other. Tomorrow I'll tell my parents to go to your house to break off the engagement. I'll also let your parents see how you've been two-faced in front of them. I coldly looked at Su Yingshu and said, Su Yingshu was shaking with rage. This is a matter between two families. If you break off the engagement with me, you'll see who else dares to marry you. Who dares to marry? My gaze landed on Lu Yue. Walked up to her. Sister, I broke off the engagement. Will you marry me? Marry the white moonlight of that green tea male lead. Piss him off to death. Boss, give me some reaction. This is embarrassing for me. Lu Yue raised her eyebrows at me. What benefit do I get from marrying you? You'll get a handsome husband. Gentle, thoughtful, and even knows how to warm the bed. Lu Yue nodded. What you say makes sense. If that's all, then it seems I'm at a disadvantage. As soon as she finished speaking, I tentatively probed. Might add a freeloader who can't cook. Lazy-limbed. Helping you spend money too. The boss is so good at making money. Must be missing someone to help spend it. Right? Getting to be a freeloader. Who would want to work, have to cling tight to the boss thigh. Lu Yue raised her hand to check her watch. 9 a.m. tomorrow morning. If I don't see you at the Civil Affairs Bureau, then just wait to be thrown into the sea as shark bait. I blinked, staring blankly at Lu Yue. You agreed? Need me to repeat it? I decisively shook my head. No need. No need. Lu Yue stood up, pulled my hand, told her best friend who was gaping in shock, I'm taking him home first. Xiao Zian blocked Lu Yue's way. President Lu, my younger brother already has a fiancée. That was just impulsive joking earlier. Apologize to you on his behalf here. I stood beside Lu Yue, rolling my eyes to the sky. Already getting impatient, Lu Yue said coldly. You're blocking the way. Hearing that, I laughed. Oh my, someone is flattering themselves. I gave my fiancée to you already. Aren't you happy? I pretended to be puzzled. Looking at Xiao Zian, I've already found a new marriage partner. Why aren't you satisfied yet? Xiao Ziyan's face turned beet red, thinking to himself, who would want that idiot Su Yangshu? Lu Yuwei is the goddess in my heart. He bit his tongue. The pain in his tongue helped him stay awake. You doing this? Well, Mom and Dad agree. Looked at Xiao Ziyan arrogantly, smiling but not smiling, said, Mom and Dad will naturally agree. After all, in their biological son, how well they treat me. It's not like you don't know. As soon as these words were spoken, Xiao Ziyan clenched his fist tightly. Ever since the real young master, me, was found, the family pampered me endlessly. Xiao Ziyan's status plummeted without stopping. If you like Su Yangshu, I'll give her to you. After all, not everyone likes picking up trash. Saying that, I pulled Lu Yuwei outside. Sister, let's go. Looking at our departing backs, Xiao Ziyan's face turned pale. With a bitter expression, said, Yangshu, I want to go home first. What if my brother badmouths us? Although Su Yangsu was unhappy, she didn't say anything more, but returned with Xiao Ziyan. Not long after, Lu Yuwei drove me to the villa entrance. Before getting out of the car, I suddenly leaned in and kissed Lu Yuwei on the cheek. Ran off right after kissing. Goodbye. Sister, I'm going home. Run fast. If caught, I'm done for. See me run faster than a rabbit. Lu Yuwei touched the kissed cheek. Sneered lightly. Coward. Lu Yuwei was about to leave when she noticed a car driving this way. It was Su Yangshu and Xiao Zi. When Xiao Ziyan saw Lu Yuwei's car, his eyes lit up. Just as he was about to step forward, Lu Yuwei drove away, leaving Xiao Ziyan only with taillights. Xiao Ziyan's face looked a bit ugly. Where exactly did he lose to Jiang Yichen? That hillbilly is despised by Lu Yuwei like that. Su Yangsu walked up to Xiao Ziyan. What are you looking at? Xiao Ziyan smiled at Su Yangshu. Nothing. I'll go inside first before successfully wooing Lu Yuwei. He couldn't give up Su Yangshu. After all, the Su family is also a top power. Xiao Ziyan just got home, heard Happy Ladder and talking. He gritted his teeth in anger. Damn Jiang Yichen. Why didn't he just die outside? All these things are clearly mine. I was talking when I heard this inner thought. Instinctively turned my head, saw Xiao Ziyan standing at the door, looking at me with hatred. I actually heard his inner thoughts. This is so interesting. That look of his, wishing he could kill me. Sister Jiang Yuru and Mom and Dad's faces immediately changed. All eyes turned towards me, realizing I didn't open my mouth at all. Then what did they just hear? While everyone was suspicious, heard my inner thoughts again. Back so early, worried he'll snitch to Mom and Dad. This time they were finally certain. What they heard was my inner voice. Then, they heard news they couldn't accept. Xiao Ziyan is really good at hiding. Clearly already contacted his biological parents, yet still pretending to know nothing. That would be fine. Mom, Dad, and Sister treated him so well for 20 years. Xiao Ziyan conspired with Su Yangsu to kill Mom and Dad. Even Sister was hit and killed by his car. Even when Sister was dying, he even faked it as her being drunk, crossing the road leading to a car accident. Thinking about how good Sister is, yet plotted against and killed by Xiao Ziyan, I felt bitter in my heart. Hearing this, Jiang Yura's hands trembled violently. Is this her ending? Mom unconsciously gripped Dad's hand tightly. Grip was so strong it made Dad frown, but he still patted his wife's hand, silently comforting her. Nothing has happened yet. They still have a chance. Xiao Ziyan saw everyone looking at him as he returned, hurriedly walked over intending to pretend to be pitiful. But I won't give him a chance. Immediately cut in. Mom, Dad, I want to break off the engagement. Su Yan, right in front of me, French kissing Xiao Ziyan in front of so many people. Seeing the gradually angry faces of the Jiang family, Xiao Ziyan was scared numb. Trembling, he defended, Mom, Dad, it's not like that. We were playing a game then, lost. So we had to. I was just about to open my mouth to retort. Lu Yuwei sent a message, opened it to find surveillance video from the bar. Xiao Ziyan was still defending himself, saying this was just an accident. He was also very regretful. I calmly spoke up. Whether it was an accident or not, watching the surveillance video will tell. Xiao Ziyan felt something was wrong. Too late to stop it, projected the video onto the TV. The whole family saw Xiao Ziyan lose the game. When punished, he sought out Su Yangsu without hesitation, hugging right in front of everyone, kissing deeply, forgetting the world. Besides these, there were also scenes of them aggressively bullying me. Mom couldn't hold back and slapped Xiao Ziyan right in the face. You know full well Su Yangshu is Yichen's fiancée, yet you still seduced her. You are disgracing us. I gloated at this scene, watching Xiao Ziyan get hit. At this moment, Lu Yuwei sent a message, opened it to find photos of the two entering and leaving a hotel, and even a few videos. When Xiao Ziyan saw the video, his face drained of blood. This isn't real. If you think I found someone to edit this video, you can take it anywhere for authentication. If it's fake, I will kneel down and apologize to you. These words directly cut off what Xiao Ziyan was about to say. Mom glared at Xiao Ziyan, shook her head in disappointment. Xiao Zi, you're really something. If you've already found your family, then you are no longer my son. When the Jiang family found their biological son, I never thought of abandoning my adopted son, but Xiao Ziyan ended up doing something like this. Hearing the Jiang family wanted to kick him out, Xiao Ziyan panicked completely. The Xiao family's conditions aren't as good as the Jiang family's. If he really has to go back there, he will become a pawn for the Xiao family to climb up, Mom said coldly. You leave. You can take your clothes. Other than that, you take nothing. Don't think too much. Looking at their cruel expressions, Xiaozin was filled with hatred. I am your son too. On what grounds do you treat me like this? You two have wanted to kick me out for a long time. Haven't you? Looking at Xiaozin screaming frantically, Mom said coldly, if you don't want to pack your things, then get the hell out right now. Xiaozin's face changed instantly. He bought a lot of luxury goods. Just those expensive watches alone are worth a fortune. Give them up just like that. He was not resigned, so he started pretending to be pitiful and weak again, but I didn't give him that chance. I decided to add fuel to the fire. Xiaozin, you stole 20 years of my life. Taking my fiancé to meet your biological parents is one thing, but you also deceived my parents. What are you trying to do? My words made the Jiang family even more furious with Xiaozin. The thing that made them even angrier was yet to come. You took Su Yingshu, in the name of a daughter-in-law, to meet the Xiao family. On the second day after I returned, Xiaozin, when exactly did you find your biological parents? Dad frowned slightly, recalling 3 years ago when Xiaozin asked for cooperation for the Xiao family. His expression changed immediately. It seems he knew 3 years ago that the Xiao family were his real relatives. Dad thought to himself, if I had investigated everything clearly and heard Yichen's inner thoughts, how long we have been kept in the dark by Xiaozin. Xiaozin, we underestimated you. Starting from now, you are no longer a member of the Jiang family. The things the Jiang family gave you, you can't take a single cent. Hearing this, Xiaozin panicked completely. He knelt down and begged miserably, but Dad had made up his mind. Buller, Shomer, Xiao out. Xiaozin didn't want to be thrown out, so he struggled to crawl up from the ground. As he walked out, he glared at me viciously. Jiang Yichen, don't be smug. This Jiang family will be mine sooner or later. That was Xiaozin's inner voice. I looked mockingly at Xiaozin struggling to leave, calling out, you are no longer a member of the Jiang family. Please don't use the Jiang family's name outside anymore. To do things you shouldn't do. Xiaozin's dark thoughts were exposed by me. He turned back in anger and shouted out of shame. Who cares? Jiang Yuro said coldly. It better be just like you said. Xiaozin's face looked terrible. I'm Jiang Yuro. I made it so clear. Yet she dares to treat me like this. If she won't be my licking dog, then she can go die. I didn't expect Xiaozin's appetite to be so big. Su Yingxi isn't enough. He even wants my sister to be a submissive licking dog for him. Hearing Xiaozin's inner thoughts, I was speechless. How should I tell my sister? Noticing my complicated gaze, Sister Jiang Yuro got goosebumps all over. Ichin, if you have something to say, just say it. I coughed lightly and said nothing, but I couldn't stop thinking about it inside. Xiaozin wants my sister to be a licking dog. Does she know he lusts after her body? Looking at Xiaozin like this, he definitely won't give up. How can I protect my sister's purity? Hearing my inner thoughts, everyone in the family froze. A vicious look appeared in Jiang Yuro's eyes. Damn Xiaozin, she took a deep breath, suppressed the anger in her heart, and patted my shoulder. Ichin, if Xiaozin bullies you in the future, just tell me. I looked at Jiang Yuro meaningfully. You should be careful yourself. I find the way Xiaozin looks at you a bit strange. I subtly reminded my sister. Meanwhile, Su Yingxu was still waiting at the gate of the Jiang house. Seeing Xiaozin stumble out, she quickly ran over to welcome him. Zin, why did you come out? Xiaozin looked aggrieved. Yingxu, what exactly did I do wrong? That Mom and Dad kicked me out of the house. Hearing that the Jiang family kicked Xiaozin out, Su Yingxi immediately flew into a rage. She stormed towards the main gate, pounding on the door repeatedly. Jiang Yichen, get the hell out here. Hearing the noise, I turned into the kitchen and filled a basin with water. I opened the door, aimed straight at the shouting woman outside, and splashed the basin of water right on her. Is your head overheating? Let me help you cool down. The glamorous Su Yingxu instantly turned into a drowned rat. Jiang Yichen, you bastard. Kneel down and apologize immediately. As she spoke, Su Yingxu raised her hand to hit me, but when she saw my parents and bodyguards standing behind me, she had to swallow her anger. Jiang Yichen, I know you are jealous of Aziz, but he and I are just friends. Just say sorry and well pretend this never happened. I felt nauseous. I kicked straight at her. Do you like this kind of apology? Su Yingxu pointed at my face. Trembling, you dare to hit me. If you don't kneel and apologize today, don't dream of marrying me. Hearing this, I replied with a look of disdain. Next time you drink, eat some peanuts to stay grounded. Instead of getting drunk and talking nonsense like this, my words made both Su Yingxi and Xiaozin change their expressions. Especially Xiaozin, his eyes were full of suspicion, not understanding why I had changed so much. After all, I used to be Su Yingxi's simp and a blind lover. It's one thing not to like Su Yingxu now, but to also be involved with Lu Yue. Could it be due to severe shock? Xiaozin kept speculating about my change in his heart, unaware that I could hear his inner thoughts clearly. Su Yingxu, our engagement ends here. My parents will go to your house tomorrow to annul the engagement. Now you can get lost. After scolding Su Yingxu, I shifted my gaze to Xiaozin. It's as you wished. I have annulled the engagement with Su Yingxu. Are you happy? Now you can openly and honestly take Su Yingxu to meet your biological parents. Oh right? Don't forget, starting from now, you are no longer the young master of the Jiang family. Stop dragging the Jiang family into your conversations from now on. Furious, Su Yingxu was about to say something, but was stopped by Xiao Zin. Yingxu, let's go. No matter how much he wanted to stay in the Jiang family, he didn't want to be humiliated like this. Su Yingxu was still resentful. Jiang Yichen, if you apologize now, I will forgive you, but I just replied with one word. Scram. Su Yingxu gritted her teeth. Jiang Yichen, don't you regret this? I retorted bluntly. I regret not dumping you sooner. Who do you think you are? Saying that, I raised the basin in my hand, ready to throw at them any moment, perhaps fearing I would actually do it. Su Yingxu dragged Xiao Zin and ran for their lives. As soon as those two left, I thought of Lu Yue. I immediately felt a headache. How should I tell mom and dad? Tomorrow I have to go register my marriage with someone. The whole family immediately looked at me in unison, startling me. I asked cautiously, Mom, Dad, why are you looking at me like that? Jiang Yura gritted her teeth and asked, are you hiding something from us? I thought for a moment. I have to say it sooner or later anyway, so I gritted my teeth and said, Mom, Dad, would you accept a different daughter-in-law? Who is it? Mom stared at me, extremely curious. Who exactly has such great charm? To hook her son, I coughed lightly and said carefully, Lu Yue. Dad looked at me in horror. Who did you say? I answered seriously, Lu Yue, the current head of the Lu family. Jiang Yura instinctively reached out to touch my forehead. Ichin, did you drink too much and get drunk? It's hard to blame them for not believing. After all, rumors say Lu Yue has never been close to men. She is also the white moonlight of countless rich young masters, and the woman men all over the country want to marry. I pushed my sister's hand away and gave her a grumpy look. It's true. She's coming to pick me up at 9 am tomorrow. I found a sugar mommy to marry. Everyone looked at me blankly. Does this guy have delusions? Ichin, tell Mom, what is this all about? Mom coughed lightly, asking gently. I touched my nose awkwardly, feeling a bit guilty. I said, we lost a game. Then I kissed her twice. Back then I said I wanted to break off the engagement with Su Yingxu. Su Yingxu said if I broke up with her, no one would dare to marry me. So I asked Lu Yue a question. Unexpectedly, she agreed. The whole family looked at each other. What kind of dumb luck did Jiang Yichen have to have such an opportunity? Mom, Dad, you don't mind if I exchange for a rich tycoon daughter-in-law? Do you? Hearing this, Mom suddenly stood up and went straight upstairs. Seeing that, I panicked. Dad, is Mom angry? Dad looked at me with an indescribable expression. Just as he was about to say something, Mom came down from upstairs, holding something in her hand. This thing looks familiar. Turns out it was the household registration book. Then Mom stuffed the book into my hand. Meaningfully, she said, Ichin, a woman like Lu Yue, tricking her into our home is a huge profit. I support you. Hearing that, I was stunned. I turned to look at Dad, my eyes saying, Dad, aren't you going to control your wife? Dad shrugged at me, suppressing a laugh. He said, your partner is Lu Yue. Our whole family supports you. After registering tomorrow, remember to ask if she wants to come home for dinner. I laughed dryly twice. Turns out I was overthinking. Looking down at the household book in my hand, I suddenly felt the book was a bit hot to handle, but successfully registering the marriage with a tycoon tomorrow. Xiao Zin will definitely be furious. After all, the tycoon is the male lead's white moonlight. Initially, Jiang Yuru didn't really want me to register with Lu Yue, but after hearing my inner thoughts, she said seriously, Ichin, I think you and President Lu make a great couple. You must not be late tomorrow. Dress handsomely. I nodded, then took the household book and went back to my room in a daze. I recalled the plot I currently knew. Xiao Zin, as the male lead, except for the villain Lu Yue, he has a love by all hallow towards everyone else. Just by snapping his fingers, Xiao Zin can make women willingly work for him. Now it's just Su Yingxu. Later on, many powerful characters will appear around Xiao Zin. I have to figure out a way to steal all his connections. The next day, Lu Yue and I arrived at the Civil Affairs Bureau. My eyebrows immediately furrowed. The woman looked in the direction of my gaze and saw Xiao Zin dressed like a handsome bad boy standing there, but Lu Yue wasn't affected at all. She linked arms with me and walked towards the Civil Affairs Bureau. Unexpectedly, in the next second, Xiao Zin approached. President Lu, wait a moment, I have something to tell you. Saying that, he spread his arms to block our way. Lu Yue looked at Xiao Zin coldly, her eyes full of impatience. You're in the way. I couldn't help laughing. I put one arm around Lu Yue's shoulder. Xiao Zin, are you here to register your marriage with Su Yingxu? Why isn't she with you? Seeing Lu Yue and me so intimate, Xiao Zin's eyes were full of jealousy. Damn Jiang Yich, on what basis does he get to register with Lu Yue? Hearing Xiao Zin's jealous inner voice, I felt even more satisfied. I even deliberately showed off our affection in front of him, openly holding Lu Yue's hand and walking into the hall. Xiao Zin stood at the door, watching helplessly as the two of us went in to register. Half an hour later, when I walked out holding the marriage certificate with Lu Yue, Xiaozin wished he could rush over, snatch the marriage certificate from my hand, and throw it on the ground. Lu Yue asked me solicitously, "Do you need to go home to pack anything?" I looked at her in surprise. "I'm moving in with you, and you're not buying clothes for me. Are you going to make me go home to get old clothes? A tycoon would be that stingy." "Right," Lu Yue said, laughing and crying. "I meant computers and such. Do you want to get them? I'll buy you new ones." I said this deliberately to provoke Xiaozin. "Then let's go to the mall now and buy whatever you like." I took Lu Yue's hand and walked away briskly, completely ignoring Xiaozin nearby. "Jiang Yichen, you bastard, I won't let you off." Hearing that, I turned to look at Xiaozin, smiled slightly, with a provocative smile on my face. "Won't let me off? Then let's wait and see." Lu Yue frowned, turned to look at Xiaozin, noticing his eyes looking at me were full of hatred. She looked up at me, thinking to herself that this guy is really annoying. She reached out and turned my head back. "What's so interesting about looking at a jumping clown?" I blinked in confusion. "The male leads loved by all hallow. Is it useless against the villain boss?" Hearing the phrase loved by all, Lu Yue frowned slightly and observed, "I still find myself much handsomer than Xiaozin." Seeing Lu Yue making no secret of her protection for me, Xiaozin was so angry that veins popped out, his nails dug deep into his flesh, without him even realizing it. "Jiang Yichen, just you wait." After going to the mall to buy necessary items, when we returned home, lunch was already cooked at home. At the dinner table, Lu Yue said she wanted me to go over to live with her. Although everyone in the family had a premonition, they were still reluctant in their hearts. "Mom, when we have time, we will come back for dinner. Staying for a few days is fine too." Lu Yue also spoke up in support at the right time. "Yichen is right. We will visit home often in the future." Since both of us said so, Mom couldn't say anything more. She could only instruct us to come home often. After eating and packing up, we arrived at the villa in District 1. It was already 9 p.m. As soon as I entered, I couldn't help but criticize. "Your room looks like a model home. Not cozy at all. That balcony is so big, yet there's nothing on it. What a waste." Lu Yue crossed her arms, leaned against the wall, and watched me wander around, occasionally hearing my complaints. Waiting for me to get clothes, she suddenly pulled me in front of her. "Smiling?" she asked. Complaining that much, seeing me nodding repeatedly, Lu Yue threw me an unlimited black card. "Renovate it however you want." My eyes lit up immediately. "Really? You won't have any opinion no matter how I renovate it?" Lu Yue smiled and nodded. "I'll listen to you completely. As long as it's not too pink, I'm okay with anything." Hearing that, I covered my mouth and snickered. How could I make it all pink? Besides, just thinking about us lying in a pink duvet, I suddenly find it very funny. "What are you thinking about?" Hearing that, I blurted out, "Thinking about how you would look lying in a pink duvet." Lu Yue raised her eyebrows. She reached out and hugged me. "Compared to what you just said, I'd rather see how you look lying there." Before I could react, I was thrown onto the bed, looking at the person leaning down. My scalp went numb. Does this count as digging my own grave? Dare to be naughty again? Her teasing gaze clouded my mind. Not knowing where I got the courage, I suddenly reached out to hug Lu Yue and kissed her. Lu Yue originally only intended to tease, but was immediately ignited with passion. The result was irreversible, so the next day I slept straight until noon. I got up, looked in the mirror, and was furious. I called Lu Yue, who had gone to work. "I can't even cover the marks on my neck. How am I supposed to go out and meet people? This woman is like a little cat." Lu Yue's eyes held a smile. "You still have the nerve to say that? Do you know that when I went to the company today, how many people were staring at me?" Hearing that, I was briefly puzzled. "Staring at you for what?" "Because last night some puppy had very sharp teeth and bit someone." As she spoke, Lu Yue took a photo and sent it to me. Seeing the identical marks on her, I couldn't help laughing. "Looks like this match is a draw." After hanging up, I looked at the marks that couldn't be covered. My eyes rolled around. Such a good opportunity. It would be a waste not to provoke Xiaozin, so I took a photo and posted it on my Moments, selecting only visible to Xiaozin. Meanwhile, because Lu Yue registered her marriage with me, Xiaozin was so angry he couldn't sleep well all night. He saw my post as soon as he woke up, and was so furious he almost caught up blood. He clenched his fists tightly, gritting his teeth. He said, "I can't just sit and wait for death. I must let Lu Yue know what kind of person Jiang Yichen is." Thinking so, Xiaozin grabbed his things and went to find Lu Yue. Arriving at the company reception, suffering because he couldn't meet her without an appointment, he suddenly saw Lu Yue and her assistant stepping out of the elevator. He immediately ran over to meet her. "Hello, President Lu. I am Jiang Yichen's older brother," but Lu Yue just gave him a bland glance. "My husband seems to only have one sister, no older brother." Lu Yue remembered this person. He is the male lead Jiang Yichen talked about, the disgusting man who considers her his white moonlight. Xiaozin was a bit embarrassed, but to let Lu Yue see my true colors, he gritted his teeth and took out the saved photo. "President Lu, look at this Jiang Yichen. He dares to use this method to smear you." Lu Yue looked at the photo on his phone and frowned slightly. Seeing that, Xiao Xin felt smug inside. I knew Lu Yue isn't a shallow person. Why wasn't I shown the photo of my husband waking up? Lu Yue was a bit dissatisfied with this, and it's such a handsome photo too. Thinking it over, Lu Yue realized that I was deliberately provoking Xiao Xin, using him to annoy someone I hate. He'll have to settle the score with this guy when I get home tonight. Xiao Xin was still waiting for Lu Yue to get angry and scold me, but instead saw her looking calm. She even turned to tell the receptionist, if this person comes again, block him outside immediately. Xiao Xin wanted to say something more, but was blocked and warned by the assistant, Sir, please don't come to disturb our boss anymore. Xiao Xin was helpless. He could only watch Lu Yue leave. As soon as she left the company, Lu Yue picked up her phone and called. Jiang Yichen, shouldn't that photo be shown to your wife? It's one thing to show it to an outsider, but you also use me as a shield. Lu Yue's voice was relaxed, not sounding demanding at all. I immediately felt interested. Did Xiao Xin really come to the company to find you? I laughed heartily. My mood is extremely good. Lu Yue was a bit angry about this. You use me. You're my wife. Aren't you? What's wrong with using you a little? Those bold words made Lu Yue fall into deep thought. Are you sure you won't regret it? Why would I regret it? I felt what Lu Yue said was a bit baffling. Remember what I said? I have a contract to discuss. I'm hanging up now. I didn't think much of it either. After hanging up, I immediately opened Xiao Xin's contact, just as I expected. The other side had been sending cursing messages for a whole hour. All sorts of insults. I just leisurely replied with a voice message. Did you go to my wife's company looking for her? Was it to see how good our relationship is? My voice was lazy and husky, making Xiao Xin red with jealousy. What do you have to be proud of? Sooner or later, she'll dump you. Hate to disappoint you. We are a legal couple recognized by the law. Even if I really get dumped by her when we divorce, you'll still get a massive share of assets. I know exactly what Xiao Xin cares about. Every word I said stabbed right into his dark heart. He was so angry he called immediately. Jiang Yichen, have you no shame? She doesn't like you at all. Facing an overly agitated Xiao Xin, I replied with a smile in my eyes. She is my wife. How does that make me shameless coming from your mouth? Besides, we sleep under the same quilt and hug each other to sleep at night. As soon as these words came out, Xiao Xin instantly exploded. All kinds of nasty words poured out. I put the phone aside, ignoring Xiao Xin's impotent rage on the other end, waiting until I couldn't hear any more noise. I picked the phone back up and said, Xiao Xin, you like my wife, don't you? It's a pity she doesn't like you. Now she's even registered her marriage with me. Tell me, if Su Yingshu knew you were pining for someone else, how would she react? While provoking Xiao Xin, I didn't forget to drive a wedge between the male and female leads. After sowing discord, I immediately unfriended and blocked him. Xiao Xin, having the phone hung up on him, was so angry his face turned black. A moment later, he suppressed the anger in his heart. He picked up the phone and made a call. Help me investigate who Jiang Yichen has met, and when he got to know Lu Yue. After receiving the answer from the other side, Xiao Xin hung up with satisfaction. Before he could think much more, the phone rang again. It was Su Yingshu calling. It turned out Su Yingshu had secured a script for him. He got the third male lead role. Although it wasn't the male lead, he was a bit disappointed, but he didn't show it. He tried to act happy, praising Su Yingshu to the skies. In his heart, he was determined to become famous no matter what. As long as I'm famous, no matter who is backing him, it will be easy for me to deal with him. As for me, when I found out Xiao Xin was about to join the film crew, I was a bit surprised. Su Yingshu is really generous to the male lead, but thinking of the future plot, I laughed secretly in my heart. I already had a plan. In the evening, Lu Yue returned home. Seeing me typing continuously on the keyboard, she asked curiously what I was doing, writing a script. While answering Lu Yue, the work in my hands didn't stop at all. Hearing this, Lu Yue raised her eyebrows slightly. You're interested in this, just writing for fun. Saying this, I suddenly leaned close to the woman. If I write it, do you want to invest? Lu Yue glanced at the script. It's pretty good, but what's in it for me? I tilted my head to look at her, then planted a kiss on Lu Yue's exquisite little face. Is this benefit enough? Lu Yue tilted her head to look at me, feeling like she was being a bit too easy. Seeing her staring at me without saying anything, I couldn't help muttering in my heart. The boss is too hard to fool. She won't even agree to this. Not agreeing is not an option. Should I just use a honey trap? Hearing my inner thoughts, Lu Yue started to look forward to it. She wanted to see what I could do to make her agree, to get her to invest in the script. I smiled slyly and suddenly hugged Lu Yue, gently stroking her beautiful face. I acted spoiled. Wifey, I'm begging you. But this appearance, falling into Lu Yue's eyes, looked a bit like a delicious meal. Before I could react, I was dragged straight into the room. What are you doing? I suddenly remembered I have some debt to settle with you. These words immediately reminded me of how I had set Lu Yue up. I wanted to run away immediately. The woman buried her face in my chest. Say wifey again. Let me hear it. I obediently did as told. Unexpectedly, what welcomed me was the familiar big bed. I immediately curled up like a small shrimp. I am hungry. In my heart, I regretted teasing her. Lu Yue said meaningfully. I'm hungry too. Oh my god. Wasn't I asking her to invest in the script? How did I become a sheep in a tiger's den? Lu Yue stifled a laugh and glared at me. This is punishment for daring to use me to provoke that man. The next day, After eating, Lu Yue took me to the garden. I sat on the swing looking at the woman standing next to me. I couldn't help urging, "Push it for me." Lu Yue went behind me to help push the swing. Lu Yue stayed with me the whole day, and even conveniently helped check the script. I wrote a script about preventing school violence. The script is good, but whether it can capture the feeling you want. The director and actors are very important. You must look for them carefully. Lu Yue looked at the script on the computer and said, "This script is about a friend of yours. He was bullied in middle school, leading to depression and jumping off a building to commit suicide. But because the ringleader was a minor at the time, he didn't face any major punishment. Don't you think it's ridiculous?" Thinking of that vibrant young boy, I felt a bit lost. Back then, he just jumped down regardless of everything, while that group of people just stood by. The law is constantly being perfected. These people will be punished eventually. I know. So I want to write a movie to make everyone take the issue of school violence seriously. Just go ahead and film it. As for what comes after, it'll help you handle it. Lu Yue comforted me softly. "Okay, I'll try my best." After staying home with me for a day, the next day Lu Yue took her assistant on a business trip. Watching Lu Yue leave, I was endlessly excited. Finally gone. If she didn't go, my waist would have broken. Lu Yue hadn't gone far when she heard my inner thoughts. Handing the luggage in her hand to the assistant, she turned around and walked back. Seeing Lu Yue come back, I asked warily, "Why did you come back?" Lu Yue curled her lips into a smile. "I think I can take you with me." I stared at Lu Yue with wide eyes. "I'm not going. This woman has no martial ethics." She said she was going by herself. Seeing my worry appearance, Lu Yue couldn't help laughing. She stood on tiptoes and kissed my cheek. "If you find it boring at home, you can go stay at mom and dad's for a few days." I pointed at the marks that hadn't faded yet. "If I go home like this, my older sister will laugh me to death. This proves our life after marriage is harmonious." Lu Yue raised her eyebrows and said, I glared at Lu Yue, pushed her away, and said, "You're pushing your luck. Go quickly." "I'm going." Lu Yue just wanted to tease me a bit. She didn't really want to take me along. After all, the situation over there wasn't very safe. This time, confirming Lu Yue was really gone, I breathed a sigh of relief. She's finally gone. Looking at the plot, I only knew she was a cold, abstinent goddess, but it didn't say it'd end up being drained dry. Why does she have so many tricks? I complained wildly in my heart, while reaching out to rub my sore waist. After resting for 2 days, my spirit finally recovered completely. On the 3rd day after Lu Yue left, I carried out a major renovation of the room. I changed the bed and spread the bedding I bought myself. I smiled with satisfaction. The cold and rigid room, under my hands, had become much warmer. I proudly took a few photos with my phone and sent them to Lu Yue. "How is it? Nice, right?" Lu Yue hadn't finished work yet. Hearing the phone sound, she picked it up to check. It was the photos I sent. Opening them to see her completely changed room, she reached out and poked the last photo. Looking at my selfie, Lu Yue once again regretted not bringing me along. I sent the message, but didn't see Lu Yue reply for a long time. Curious, I started a video call. Seeing the call picked up immediately, I fell into deep thought. "What are you looking at?" Seeing Lu Yue staring intently at something, I instinctively leaned forward, getting close to the phone to ask, "I'm looking at the photo you just sent me." Lu Yue adjusted the phone angle and placed it aside, working while on the video call with me. "What's there to see about that?" I found the photos I had taken. "Doesn't seem like anything special." Lu Yue smiled without speaking. That mysterious look gave me a foreboding feeling. "Please throw those messy thoughts in your head away from me," I said grumpily. Lu Yue laughed out loud. That radiant smiling appearance conversely filled my eyes with astonishment. It turned out Lu Yue's hearty laughter was even more beautiful than when she was cold. I reached out and poked Lu Yue laughing on the screen. I mumbled, "You look so beautiful when you smile. Why don't you like to smile?" Lu Yue stopped smiling, looking gently at the person in the video, thinking of those annoying people from the Lu family. Lu Yue shook her head slightly. "Before, there was nothing worth smiling about." I stared blankly at Lu Yue. I chatted with her for a long time, waiting until she finished work. I hung up the video, looking at the ended call. Lu Yue somewhat regretted not telling me that she regretted not taking me on the business trip. The next day, Lu Yue woke up and saw the message I sent. There was the dinner I ate, flowers I picked from the garden, and the balcony I had finished decorating. It looked quite pleasing to the eye. She picked up the phone and sent me a message. She had just walked out the door when the assistant beside her reported on work progress. "CEO, there's still no news from that side. Book a flight to return tomorrow morning. I don't want to waste too much time with them. As for today's matters, you handle them. Call me if there's anything." After saying that, she took the car keys and drove out. Outside, Lu Yue left her residence and strolled around outside. When she returned, she was carrying several bags. Seeing those cute decorative items, along with clothes and shoes, the assistant was dumbfounded. Who would have thought their cold and high-up boss would carry all sorts of cute things like this? "Boss, are these for the mister? Does he like these strange, cute things?" When I was mentioned, a faint smile appeared on Lu Yue's face. That appearance made the assistant feel it was truly magical. Our CEO actually knows how to smile. In the evening, Lu Yue was on a video call with me. Her face was full of unhappiness. I asked curiously what happened. "You don't look very happy. Did work not go smoothly?" Lu Yue told the story of Smith wanting from her to take 10% of the profit. Telling me, seeing my weird expression, Lu Yue's assets can be ranked globally. That guy named Smith actually dared to want from her hands, to use dirty tricks to seize benefits. What do you plan to do? I was invited by the David family. If Smith doesn't want the face I'm giving him, then there's no need for this cooperation. He'll be back tomorrow. Yay! Then you have to bring me a gift. I'm flying back early tomorrow morning. What if there's no gift? Lu Yue asked with fake regret. I looked at Lu Yue. Seeing she didn't seem to be joking, I hung up without saying another word. After hanging up, I poked at my phone. A dignified big CEO like that, going on a business trip and not buying a gift for her husband. Bad review. Lu Yue completely didn't expect that I would choose to hang up the video directly. She shook her head with a helpless smile. She put the phone aside to charge and went to wash up and prepare for bed. The next day, Lu Yue hurried back home. Looking around, she didn't see me anywhere. She frowned and asked the housekeeper, "Where is the mister? The mister isn't feeling well today. He has been resting upstairs." Lu Yue carried the gift she bought for me and walked quickly upstairs. She gently opened the door, put the things on the floor, and walked towards the inner room. Inside, she saw her baby lying on the bed. She went over and sat on the edge of the bed, looking at my pale face. She reached out to touch my forehead. "Why is it so hot?" Lu Yue grabbed her phone and called a doctor friend, telling that person to come immediately. When Xia Yun walked into Lu Yue's room, her first reaction was that she had gone to the wrong place. This room doesn't look like it fits someone like Lu Yue at all. "What are you looking at? Come here quickly." Lu Yue saw Xia Yun enter and just stand there assessing the room. She spoke annoyedly. Xia Yun giggled. "I heard before the business trip you went to work with a huge hickey. At first I didn't believe it. Now seeing your room, I consider it believed." Lu Yue tilted her head to look at Xia Yun. Her meaning was very clear. "If you can't do it, I'll switch to someone else." Xia Yun coughed lightly. She hurriedly went over to check my pulse. He has a cold leading to a fever. However, his condition isn't very good. His body looks strong, but actually it's strong on the outside and weak on the inside. Need to nourish and nurse it well. It's okay. Just tell me what is needed. Wait for him to recover from the cold. Tell the chef to make some medicinal food to nourish him. Xia Yun prescribed the medicine I needed to take, telling Lu Yue to instruct the servants in the house to go to her hospital to get the medicine. Since there's nothing else, you'll head back first. Wait for your husband to get well. Let's have a gathering. After Xia Yun left, Lu Yue went to take a bath. After changing clothes, she lay down next to me on the bed, waiting until I woke up. Lu Yue had already fallen asleep beside me. In my daze, I looked at Lu Yue and instinctively hugged her tightly. My action caused Lu Yue, who wasn't sleeping deeply, to wake up immediately. She reached out to touch my forehead. "The fever is down. Are you still uncomfortable?" "I'm much better. I want some water." Lu Yue got up and poured me a cup of warm water. After I finished drinking, she said, "I called a doctor to examine you. Just nurse your health well and you'll be fine." I looked at Lu Yue with bright eyes. No need to take medicine. Receiving an affirmative answer, I happily reached out to hug Lu Yue. "Thank you, wifey." While excited, I suddenly stiffened, looked at Lu Yue resentfully. "I'm hungry. Then I'll go downstairs and tell the chef to make something for you," Lu Yue said gently. "There are gifts outside. After you wash up, go out and open them." I looked at Lu Yue suspiciously. "You said you didn't have time to buy me a gift," Lu Yue said amusingly. "I was just teasing you. Who knew you would get so frantic?" I thought about hanging up on Lu Yue yesterday. Suddenly I felt a bit guilty. I reached out and pushed her away. "You go." After Lu Yue left, I hurriedly got up and went to the bathroom to wash my face. Waiting until I came out of the bathroom, looking at the bags on the floor, I carried them to the sofa to open. The items inside were all colors I liked, especially that watch. It pleased me very much. Putting the watch on my wrist and putting the other things away, I leisurely went downstairs to find Lu Yue. Seeing Lu Yue sitting on the sofa holding a laptop, working, I extended my hand in front of her. "Is it nice?" "Dare to say it's not nice, and I won't let you sleep in the bed tonight." Lu Yue's hand movements paused for a moment. She tilted her head to look at me sidling up to her. Ignoring my petty inner thoughts, she took the opportunity to glance at my wrist. Smiling, she nodded. "Very nice." Only then did I nod with satisfaction. While sitting next to Lu Yue waiting to eat, I scrolled through my phone's friends circle. When I saw Xiaozin's post, I raised my eyebrows slightly. I forgot to block Xiaozin's WeChat. This Xiaozin guy has some skill, coaxing Su Yingshu to spin around him, being used without even knowing it. Lu Yue, who was working, heard my inner thoughts regarding the relationship between Xiaozin and Su Yingshu. She was also a bit curious. In Xiaozin's heart, he likes someone else. It has always been Lu Yue, never Su Yingshu. Being with Su Yingshu is just a substitute for not being able to get Lu Yue. Moreover, in the original work, when Su Yingshu's career reached its peak, Xiaozin used Su Yingshu's power, wanting to threaten Lu Yue, and even force Lu Yue to be his mistress. As a result, he was beaten, crippled by Lu Yue. If not for someone highly respected on Su Yingshu's side coming out to speak for him, Su Yingzhu and Xiaozin would have long been empty-handed. Lu Yue heard my inner thoughts, and her face was full of astonishment, but she continued to look at the computer without batting an eyelid. That disgusting man actually dared to want her as a mistress. However, the boss is still the boss. Her ability to identify green tea is truly maxed out. I tilted my head to look at Lu Yue diligently working beside me. I suddenly hugged Lu Yue's shoulders and planted a loud kiss on her cheek. Being kissed unexpectedly, Lu Yue looked at me suspiciously. What's wrong? Nothing. It's a reward for my wife for soberly identifying a scheming man. Lu Yue was made to laugh and cry by my inner thoughts. I giggled and continued to look at Xiaozin's post. Su Yingshu found a male 3 role for Xiaozin. Xiaozin actually isn't angry. Lu Yue also looked at the content on my phone. You don't like him? Do you want to replace him? I shook my head decisively. No replacement. This movie won't be screened anyway. After this movie is filmed and edited, while the director and others are constantly promoting it, the female lead will get involved in a scandal and even have to go to the police station, so this movie will be shelved forever. Not only that, it will lose 100 million in capital, including 10 million from Su Yingshu. Just thinking about Su Yingshu losing so much money for Xiaozin makes me happy. Very quickly, Xiaozin sent a message. Jiang Yichen, Yingshu introduced me to a director. You won't be jealous. Will you? Looking at the message sent by Xiaozin, I got goosebumps all over. You're not still doing the work yourself. Are you? I really admire you. Unlike me, who can only spend my wife's money, using Su Yingshu to provoke me, he doesn't even look at himself to see if he's worthy. Isn't my wife better than Su Yingshu? She has both money and beauty, and she treats me so well. Lu Yue leaned on the sofa looking at me. In this guy's heart, am I really that good? Being stared at by Lu Yue like that, I was startled. Why are you staring at me like that? I looked at Lu Yue suspiciously, seeing that she really seemed fine. I then continued to look at Xiaozin's messages. In the following days, Xiaozin kept sending some interactions between him and Su Yingshu to provoke me. At the beginning, I just treated Xiaozin like a joke and didn't intend to pay too much attention, but Xiaozin got more and more excessive and completely angered me. Turning the tables, I immediately sent him an intimate photo with Lu Yue, waited until almost 2 minutes passed, then immediately recalled it. Xiaozin saw the message I sent. His eyes were full of anger. He threw the phone in his hand violently, looking gloomily at the photo on the phone. I must have Lu Yue. Only a woman like Lu Yue is the true love in my heart. He checked his shooting schedule. There are 3 days left until it ends. Wait until filming is done. He must go find Lu Yue to let Lu Yue know he is the one most suitable for her. Very quickly, 3 days passed. Xiaozin's role finally wrapped up. He didn't even attend the wrap party and returned to the imperial capital by himself. Returning to the imperial capital, Xiaozin began to worry. How could he meet Lu Yue? If only he could go to Lu Yue's company. While Xiaozin was anxious, Su Yingshu brought him good news that there's a charity gala in 2 days. Su Yingshu intended to have Xiaozin as her partner to attend together. When Xiaozin was preparing to attend the dinner party, Lu Yue also told me about this. This isn't fun at all. I thought, charity galas and auctions are nothing interesting, so I was a bit reluctant to go. Su Yingshu also received an invitation. She will most likely find Xiaozin to be her partner, and as Xiaozin wants to enter the entertainment industry, he certainly won't miss this opportunity, Lu Yue said with a certain expression. Hearing that Su Yingshu and Xiaozin were also going, I immediately got interested. Wifey, I'm going to go listen to what they actually want to do. Lu Yue's lips curled up. Could it be that this guy can also hear the inner thoughts of Xiaozin and Su Yingshu? Then this is getting interesting. The auction arrived very quickly. Xiaozin, with the help of Su Yingshu, put on a high-end formal suit, wore an expensive watch, followed Su Yingshu to appear at the auction. Those who knew about the feud between the Jiang family and the Su family, seeing Xiaozin openly following Su Yingshu to the auction, started pointing and gossiping about the two of them, truly an uneducated adopted son, to actually steal the fiancé of the real young master. Your news is outdated. The real young master of the Jiang family has already married the head of the Lu family. Isn't that person 100 times better than Su Yingshu? Everyone hearing that immediately buzzed with discussion. Xiaozin naturally also heard what they said. His face was a bit unsightly. How dare they say these words right in front of him? Su Yingshu didn't argue with them at this moment. Only when leading Xiaozin past them, she coldly said one sentence to them. The one who isn't loved is the third party. Azi and I are true love. I didn't expect that. As soon as I arrived at the auction with Lu Yue, I heard Su Yingshu in front of so many people, spouting nonsense here. Couldn't help but clap for Su Yingshu. This is very well said. So this is the excuse for you to have an affair with Xiaozin. During the engagement period, my voice made everyone's eyes shift to me. Everyone's eyes flickered slightly, looking with some curiosity, looking at me and saying, "Yer? Zhang, what is your view on this matter?" I have no view at all. Of course, I wish this pair of scumbag and bitch eternal happiness, locked together for life. Don't go out and harm others. Xiaozin heard me say that in front of so many people. They immediately pretended to be pitiful. I know you have a prejudice against me, but you also can't. Can't what? You can do anything. When Su Yingshu and I had an engagement, you messed around with her, even sending photos and videos to me to demonstrate power. Now I wish you blessings. Why are you still unhappy? This pitiful look is truly unlucky. Everyone looked at each other. Turns out when they didn't know, Xiaozin did so many things like that. Xiaozin saw everyone's eyes looking at him change, immediately panicked and said, It's not like that. It's Jiang Yichen framing me. I was too lazy to talk much with Xiao Zin. Found the photos and videos I kept and hadn't deleted. Publicly showed them right in front of everyone. Seeing in the photos and videos that intimate appearance of Xiao Zin and Su Yingxu, everyone showed expression of disgust. No wonder the Jiang family wanted to cut ties with Xiao Zin. It seems they already knew what kind of goods Xiao Zin was. That's why they chose their biological son, instead of the adopted son they raised for over 10 years. Xiao Zin. Do you want me to continue? In the face of undeniable evidence, Xiao Zin had nothing left to say. Could only look helplessly. Su Yingxu is truly useless. Don't you see him being bullied by Jiang Yichen like this? It's come to this and you still don't help me? While Xiao Zin was thinking, he looked weakly towards Lu Yue. Sadly said, President Lu, my younger brother really misunderstood me. My husband only has one older sister. He doesn't have any older brother. Also, these things, didn't you send them to my husband? Lu Yue walked up next to me, reached out to hold my arm. With a cold face, she said words that made Xiao Zin collapse. I looked at him with a fake smile. Xiao Zin, the woman you used 1,000 schemes to steal, is still standing right there. Are you starting to seduce my wife again? Su Yingxu hates hearing this the most. She looked at me with an angry face. Jiang Yichen, that's enough. You already kicked Azi out of the house. What more do you want? Why are you still so vicious? I was so angry I laughed. Was about to say something when I was pulled by Lu Yue to the signing area. Why talk to this kind of person? Trash with brains full of tofu dregs. I covered my mouth and snickered. If you know how to speak, say more. I like hearing it. Hearing my inner voice. Lu Yue's mouth corners slightly curled up, glanced at Su Yingxu nearby. The Su family members are also ruined. To let you make a scene at this auction, the bystanders thought of something and burst into laughter. This auction is very important. Su Yingxu bringing Xiao Zin along is clearly asking for trouble. I curiously asked Lu Yue. Yue, what is this auction about? Cooperation with a military enterprise. The highest bidder wins. My eyes shone looking at Lu Yue. Those eyes were sparkling, as if seeing some treasure. Turns out it's military cooperation. I remember in the original story, Su Yingxu also brought Xiao Zin to participate because Xiao Zin was eager to show off. He messed things up. In the end, the other party's representative chose Lu Yue. Not only that, after Lu Yue won the cooperation, Xiao Zin self-righteously went to find Lu Yue, hoping Lu Yue would hand over the cooperation to Su Yingxu. At that time, Xiao Zin relied on having the male lead hello, ordering Lu Yue around, not knowing Lu Yue is the ultimate villain boss. That so-called male lead hello is completely useless on her. Lu Yue not only ignored Xiao Zin, but also had people throw Xiao Zin out. Thinking about the plot development after that, I look forward to it even more. Will this plot happen? I want to watch a good show. Hearing my inner thoughts, Lu Yue couldn't help frowning. What kind of brain-dead plot is this? Just because of some so-called hello coming to me to demand cooperation, and even ordering me around, really treating me like a brainless idiot. However, she also really wants to see this plot. She also wants to see how this male and female lead couple dig their own graves in front of her and her husband. Xiao Zin originally wanted to pretend to be pitiful to Lu Yue, who knew she wouldn't pay any attention to him at all. She even interacted intimately with me right in front of him. That would be fine, but Lu Yue even mocked him to his face. Xiao Zin's hands instinctively clenched tight, his eyes full of determination to win the military cooperation. Lu Yue, wait until I help Yingxu get this cooperation. I will make you kneel and beg me. I heard Xiao Zin's inner thoughts. My expression became a bit strange. Wanting to get this cooperation, to make the boss kneel and beg him. This thought of Xiao Zin is truly as arrogant as always. A ragtag guy who understands nothing. Wants to be at this special bidding conference, competing with experienced business tycoons. Who gave him the courage? Lu Yue tightened her grip on my arm. She really didn't expect this Xiao Zin dared to have such thoughts. She casually asked, Hubby, do you think we should beat the drowning dog this time? My eyes shone looking at Lu Yue, eyes full of expectation, as if asking, can we? If you like, we can try. Lu Yue looked at me dotingly. Of course we must. I want to watch the excitement. Listen to you. The auction is about to start. I tilted my head and leaned in to whisper to Lu Yue. From Xiao Zin's perspective, it looked just like I was kissing Lu Yue in front of everyone. And Lu Yue was not only not angry, but also looked at me with a doting expression, seeming extremely satisfied with my action. Xiao Zin seeing this scene, his expression immediately twisted. You shameless bitch. Shallow man. She likes this kind of man. Can do it too. Xiao Zin's heart was extremely sore. Women around him instinctively treat him well. Why won't Lu Yue do it? Why can't Lu Yue be like other women? Be a spare tire. Be my follower. Hearing Xiao Zin's inner thoughts, I blinked. My expression also became a bit dull. Good job. I have to exclaim. Good job. Xiao Zin actually wants the boss to be his spare tire. His follower, Lu Yue instinctively turned to look at me. What is this guy saying? Xiao Zin wants her to be a spare tire. Be a follower. Right at this moment, for the first time, Lu Yue had the impulse to kill someone. I didn't notice Lu Yue's reaction, but continued to curse silently. Even the Lu family members don't dare to tell Lu Yue to return to the Lu family. They don't even dare appear in front of Lu Yue. Xiao Zin actually wants Lu Yue to do this kind of thing. Is he crazy? Am I crazy? Lu Yue reached out and held my hand. playing with it in her hand, but her eyes were full of storms. Bringing Jiang Yichen to the auction this time was the right choice. At least she knows how Xiao Zin fantasizes about her. First wanting her to kneel and beg, now wanting her to be a spare tire. A follower. Good, truly very good. At this moment, no matter how slow I am, I also realized Lu Yue was a bit unhappy. Tilted my head to look at Lu Yue. Wifey? What's wrong? Lu Yue smiled and shook her head. Nothing. Just saw something ignorant of life and death. Couldn't help but complain silently. You're not talking about Xiao Zin? Are you? Lu Yue's eyes held a smile. My husband is truly smart. Even guessed this. Wifey? Who do you want to deal with? I can help you. I looked at Lu Yue with an expectant face. Lu Yue curled her finger and tapped lightly on my head. Softly said, do I need your help for this small matter? I smiled foolishly and hugged my forehead. The people behind, watching the intimate appearance of the two, all smiled with goodwill. A woman who disliked Su Yingshu gloatingly said to the person next to her, Su Yingshu thought no one would want Jiang Yichen if he left her. In reality, leaving her only made him lie better. Look how well President Lu treats him. While talking, she even intentionally glanced at Su Yingshu's group. Xiao Zin from the very beginning kept watching the intimate actions of the two, so jealous that his fingernails dug into his palms. I heard what the person behind said, mouth corners slightly curled up, pretending to inadvertently turn my head. Glancing at Xiao Zin behind, indeed saw Xiao Zin's face was very unsightly. Seems like he was provoked quite a bit. I ignored Xiao Zin's glare that wished to eat me alive. Leaned close to Lu Yue. Your rotten peach blossom. Looking at me like that, if looks could kill, I guess it'd be riddled with holes. Lu Yue with disgusted face. Such a peach blossom for you. Would you take it? I decisively shook my head. Am not worthy of this kind of peach blossom. Lu Yue couldn't help laughing. No need to pay attention to this kind of person. Just watch. Seeing Lu Yue say that, I immediately felt relieved. Continued to chat with her, waiting for Xiao Zin when the auction starts, to be wary of consequences. The auction started very quickly. At first, it was just some small auction items. There were also some antiques and jade of various kinds. When auctioning a string of Buddhist beads, I whispered to Lu Yue, I like this. Lu Yue said nothing, just looked at the host. This string of Buddhist beads starts at 500,000. Each bid increment not less than 100,000. Starting now, Xiao Zin happened to also eye this string of Buddhist beads, said to Su Yingshu next to him. Yingshu, this string of beads is so beautiful. If you like it, buy it. Su Yingshu's budget this time is very large. Buying a string of beads for Xiao Zin is nothing. The price quickly went up to 2 million, but when Su Yingshu heard this price, her eyebrows slightly furrowed. Although this string of beads isn't bad, it's not worth this price. Xiao Zin also knew this string of beads was overpriced. Su Yingshu certainly won't spend more money to buy it. Could only say resentfully, Yingshu, forget it. This string of beads is too expensive, although Xiao Zin said to forget it. But that pitiful look clearly didn't want to give up on this string of beads. When Su Yingshu was about to say something, she heard Lu Yue's voice coming from the front. 5 million. She was too lazy to slowly bid with others, wait for the price to reach a certain level. Before slamming it down, I looked at Lu Yue in surprise, reached out to pull her arm. What are you doing? 2 million is already expensive. She opened her mouth and raised it to 5 million. As the son-in-law of the Lu family, you can buy whatever you want. No need to worry about the price. Lu Yue's determination for the Buddhist beads silenced everyone who also wanted to buy the beads. They didn't dare to compete with Lu Yue. It wasn't that they didn't have money. It's just that they still had to give Lu Yue face. When Xiao Zin heard the deal closed at 5 million, he was red-eyed with jealousy. When the price reached 2 million, Su Yingshu already didn't want to continue bidding for him, but now Lu Yue raised the price to 5 million to buy for Jiang Yichen. The difference is clear, seen at a glance, glancing at Su Yingshu next to him. Indeed, the fake is not as good as the original. Su Yingshu, this useless thing, refusing to even bid. I heard Xiao Zin's inner thoughts, mouth corners slightly curled up. It seems Xiao Zin is also starting to be dissatisfied with Su Yingshu. Although Su Yingshu is the heir of the Su family, because she is the female lead of this world, she also carries some halo on her, but compared to Lu Yue, she is still too weak. She still wants to cooperate with the military enterprise. The money in hand naturally cannot be used too much. It's not some precious collectible in hand. In Su Yingshu's eyes, it's just not worth it. Moreover, competing with a top tier like Lu Yue, a boss bidding war, as long as one isn't stupid, they all know what to choose. Su Yingshu helplessly looked at Xiao Zin, reached out to rub her forehead, wanting to comfort, finally chose to say nothing, intending to buy a beautiful piece of jewelry with a reasonable price later. For Xiao Zin, very quickly, a watch studded with diamonds was brought up. When seeing that watch, Lu Yue's eyes were already on it. When the bidding started, Lu Yue immediately closed it at 10 million. This watch, just like that, was pocketed by Lu Yue. I only reacted then, boldly reached out to pinch Lu Yue's cheek. My spendthrift wife, you must believe in your wife's ability to earn money. If you don't spend money, how can you be a parasitic spendthrift? You must spend money. For your wife to have the motivation to earn money, being told that by Lu Yue, I actually found it reasonable, immediately nodded seriously, then I won't be polite with you anymore. Lu Yue then nodded with satisfaction, continued watching the auction items with me. The words of the two were coincidentally heard by Xiao Zin behind. Thinking getting 2 pieces of jewelry allows you to be arrogant. Wait until we get the cooperation with the military enterprise. See how you lose face? I heard Xiao Zin gloating in his heart, shook my head a bit helplessly. This Xiao Zin is really confident. Z is truly sensible. Won't make it hard for me at this time. This is still the first time since I entered the auction. Heard Su Yingshu's inner thoughts. If Xiao Zin heard this, don't know what would happen. The following auction items. Lu Yue bid for 2 more items I like. As for Xiao Zin, also got a beautiful necklace as wished. The price didn't exceed 1 million. The auction quickly reached the most critical moment. The bidding for military enterprise cooperation has started. This time, the person coming is the highest person in charge of the military enterprise. When seeing the other party, Lu Yue's expression looked a bit strange. I noticed her gaze and asked curiously, "Wifey, do you know this person? Met a few times, also had some cooperation." I nodded in understanding. So that's it. It seems this cooperation, Lu Yue's chance of winning is very high. Just don't know when Lu Yue wins the cooperation. Xiao Zin, who is always determined to win, will be. The bidding started very quickly. At the beginning, Lu Yue hasn't participated in the bidding yet, always waiting for others to bid, and Su Yingxu also participated later. When she joined, the price had reached over 8 billion. When she shouted the price of 10 billion, Xiao Zin frowned slightly, whispering to Su Yingxu beside him, "Yingxu, isn't this a bit too expensive? What kind of partnership needs 10 billion? Aren't they just using this opportunity to rake in money?" People around them cast their gazes towards Xiao Zin. Those mocking looks made Xiao Zin feel a bit embarrassed. Even Su Yingxu couldn't help but furrow her brows. Stop talking nonsense. Everyone already has a rough idea of the partnership content. The specifics have to wait until the bidding ends. The person in charge will personally speak with the winning bidder. Xiao Zin saying things like that only makes him a laughingstock. I'm not talking nonsense. It's just a normal partnership. Why does it need 10 billion? Plus, this isn't even the final price yet. With that much money, wouldn't it be better to just give people some? The way everyone around looked at Xiao Zin became significantly colder. Someone who already disliked Su Yingxu looked at Xiao Zin with disgust, then said, "Su Yingxu, next time you want to bring someone to an occasion like this, bring someone who knows when to shut their mouth." After saying that, the person deliberately spoke louder. Some people really don't understand but love to show off, clueless that the words coming out of their mouth are just a joke. The business representative on stage smiled, offering no explanation whatsoever about the matter, only saying one sentence, "If this gentleman believes that we are running a scam from the start, then you can ask young President Su to withdraw from the auction." With the heads of the country's top powers staring right at them like that, even Su Yingxu began to feel angry. She glared furiously at Xiao Zin. If you don't understand, then don't speak nonsense. This partnership is very important to our Su family." Xiao Zin wanted to say something else, but Su Yingxu didn't want to hear it anymore. Stop talking. Otherwise, my side's bidding will run into big trouble. Xiao Zin's eyes turned red. He said sadly, "Yingxu, you hate me now, don't you?" Su Yingxu rubbed her temples, feeling quite annoyed in her heart. Now is not the time to talk about this. You really do hate me. Are you regretting it now?" Xiao Zin didn't care about the situation at all. He stood up abruptly, pointing at Su Yingxu and questioning her. So many people present just watched Xiao Zin go crazy. I looked at Xiao Zin with increasing interest. Isn't Zin usually very smart? Why has he turned into this now? Daring to cause a scene with Su Yingxu in front of so many people. Isn't this the same as throwing Su Yingxu's dignity on the ground and trampling on it? Seeing Su Yingxu's face turn black, I couldn't help but laugh. Let's see how much further Xiao Zin can dig his own grave. Su Yingxu was also truly angry. She shouted, "Xiao Zin, can you be a little sensible? Look at what kind of occasion this is. Will you?" Being scolded by Su Yingxu like that, only then did Xiao Zin notice that everyone in the hall was looking at them. The gazes directed at him were filled with even more mockery and disdain, as if they were looking at some piece of trash. While Xiao Zin was thinking about how to handle this to minimize the damage, I propped up my chin, smiling yet not smiling. I said, "Xiao Zin, we know you and Su Yingxu have a great relationship, but you can't just flirt in front of so many people like this, making eyes at each other and delaying everyone's bidding. Can you?" The people nearby, who were already dissatisfied with them, immediately nodded in agreement. "That's right. What's wrong with the Su family anyway? On such an important occasion, bringing someone so clueless here, are they trying to make things difficult for us on purpose?" Being pointed at by everyone, Xiao Zin didn't dare say anything else, only daring to hide behind Su Yingxu. Su Yingxu felt somewhat helpless, but she was the one who brought him, so she just had to accept her bad luck, standing up to apologize to everyone. "Apologies. Everyone. We are in the wrong this time. Please accept our sincere apologies." After the perfunctory apology, everyone's attention returned to the auction. While Xiao Zin was thinking about how to coax Su Yingxu when they got home, he heard a familiar voice call out a price. 50 billion. Xiao Zin suddenly looked up at me in front. He actually bid 50 billion straight away. Jiang Yichen, if you don't understand, then don't bid recklessly. Aren't you worried President Liu will be angry? Xiao Zin's voice was a bit loud, staring intently at me. This is just the pocket money my wife gave me. I'm using my pocket money to bid. Do you want to control that too? If I remember correctly, the price in the original story was 180 billion. Plus, what they want to research and develop this time is chips. Once the research succeeds, if we don't hold the partnership rights, then the best chip company can directly use it. If the plot I know is correct, half a year after securing this partnership, our country's chip industry will achieve great success. Liu Yue spending 180 billion will earn back more than just 10 times that 180 billion. Liu Yue only has a vague idea about this partnership, knowing a few things here and there. She doesn't know it's related to chips, and her most profitable business requires chips. So, just like the plot I know, securing the chip partnership with the military enterprise, and when they succeed, she will be the biggest beneficiary besides the state. Hubby, just go ahead and play with this auction. Liu Yue glanced at the busybody Xiao Zin once, then said to me, "Don't worry. Bid boldly. I'm right here to back you up. As for those idle people who like to meddle in other people's business, no need to pay attention to them." Suddenly, someone laughed at others' misfortune. These days, why are there people getting angry because someone else is spending money? Tell me about it. His wife hasn't even said anything. What is he getting so worked up about? Xiao Zin's face flushed red. He wanted to say something else, but was stopped by Su Yingshu before he could speak. Xiao Zin saw that Su Yingshu was angry, so he had to shut his mouth in silence. Xiao Zin's farce didn't affect the auction. The bidding continued and quickly reached 100 billion. Su Yingshu also withdrew from the bidding due to capital issues. Now only 3 companies remained. When the price reached 130 billion, only Liu Yue and one other competitor were left. I thought for a moment, the opponent's limit is 150 billion. I'll just call the final price directly then. Thinking that, I smiled and opened my mouth. 180 billion. This was the price Liu Yue offered in the original story. As soon as this price was offered, the competitor helplessly withdrew. Xiao Zin shouted, "Jiang Yichen, you're crazy. Liu Yue, aren't you going to stop him?" Liu Yue frowned, a bit impatient. "Su Yingshu, control your man. My business isn't something a nobody can interfere with. 180 billion. Does anyone bid higher?" Everyone fell silent. At this price, who could compete with Liu Yue? 180 billion. Sold. At this moment, the representative from the military enterprise walked down with a contract, preparing to sign with Liu Yue. Xiao Zin suddenly stood up from his seat and walked up to Liu Yue. "President Liu, can you yield this partnership to Yingshu? You surely don't lack this one partnership." Xiao Zin put on an expression he thought was very handsome. Speaking gently to Liu Yue looked at Xiao Zin like he was a joke. "I spent 180 billion to win this auction, to get this partnership, and you think one word from you will make me hand it over? Who do you think you are?" Jiang Yichen's inner voice was indeed spot on. Xiao Zin really chose this exact moment to say such embarrassing and shameful things. Su Yingxi also didn't expect that Xiao Zin would dare to go directly to Liu Yue, asking Liu Yue to hand over the partnership to him. She hurriedly went to Xiao Zin's side, reaching out to drag him away. Su Yingshu lowered her voice, saying it angrily, "What are you doing? Isn't this all for your own good? You're just humiliating me. Who do you think she is? This partnership is worth 180 billion. Why would she give it to me just because you said so?" Su Yingshu felt like Xiao Zin had gone mad. To even utter such thoughtless words, Xiao Zin remained silent. He knew that many women couldn't refuse his requests. As long as he asked, they would offer up whatever he wanted. He thought that in front of Liu Yue, he would receive the same treatment. But unexpectedly, Liu Yue directly humiliated him in front of everyone. "Let's continue." Liu Yue looked at the representative in front of her and said with a smile. The two quickly signed the contract. I crossed my arms over my chest, looking at Xiao Zin with a smirk. "Xiao Zin, I'm very curious about something. Just how thick is your skin to be able to say the words, asking my wife to yield a 180 billion partnership to Su Yingshu?" I assessed Xiao Zin. This guy isn't anything special. How can he be so average yet so confident? He probably thought President Liu is as stupid as Su Yingshu to be able to say something so ridiculous. "Su Yingshu, the reason you brought him here is so that when you fail to win anything, you can tell him to go find the winner and force them to hand over the partnership they spent a fortune on to you." After saying that, I couldn't help but laugh. This joke, I could laugh in Su Yingshu's face about it for the rest of my life. Su Zin's face turned beet red. Facing the mockery of so many people, Xiao Zin looked pitifully at Su Yingshu. "Yingshu, I just wanted to help you. I didn't mean to." Su Yingshu now wished she had never brought Xiao Zin here. Such shameful words. How could Xiao Zin even say them out loud? "Let's leave." After saying that, she turned and walked away, completely intending not to wait for Xiao Zin. Xiao Zin chased after her in frustration. "Damn it. Jiang Yichen, If it weren't for him, I wouldn't have lost my reason like that. I heard Xiao Zin's inner thoughts, instinctively pointing at myself with a slightly bewildered look, making a fool of himself and wanting to blame me. Do I look like someone easy to bully? Xiao Zin keeps saying the wrong things. Is it not because he has no brain? Why is it my fault now? Hearing me secretly complain about Xiao Zin, Lu Yue sympathetically patted my head. Hubby, tell me, how could this Xiao Zin say such things? I thought about it seriously for a moment. Answering Lu Yue's question, Xiao Zin has always been loved by women. As long as he wants something, the women around him will hand it to him on a silver platter. He probably thought you were the same, which is why he dared to say that in front of so many people. Besides, Xiao Zin has something to rely on, which is that whenever he messes up, the women around him can't bear to scold him. Therefore, Xiao Zin is just a fool in the eyes of others, a dumb handsome guy who deliberately messes things up, then keeps saying it's because he's too stupid and even actively apologizes. Whenever that happens, even if the person beside him has an issue, they feel too awkward to say anything more and just have to swallow it. It's just a pity that Xiao Zin wasn't facing those fools this time, but Lu Yue, the top villain, Xiao Zin probably even thought that in front of so many people, even if you didn't want to, you would be too embarrassed to refuse. Lu Yue rubbed her temples with a headache, asking helplessly, do I look that much like an idiot? In their eyes, we, husband and wife, are both gold mines to be dug. Saying that, I reached out and took Lu Yue's small hand, telling her not to dwell on it too much. We went to collect the jewelry we had won, then left the auction venue. On the way out, we saw Su Yingxu and Xiao Zin arguing not far from the gate, but not long after, their argument ended because Xiao Zin backed down, and they just let it go. Hand in hand, they left intimately. See that, this is Xiao Zin's skill, I said sarcastically. After all, he is a dumb handsome guy. No matter what he does wrong, the women around him can't bear to blame him. Dumb handsome guy. Lu Yue seemed a bit disdainful of this title. Stupid is just stupid. What's with the dumb handsome guy nonsense? Those who defend Xiao Zin must all be idiots. Having this kind of person by my side would be humiliating. Lu Yue said with a face full of disgust. How can this Su Yingxu be so generous? The incident at the auction today will spread throughout this circle before tomorrow even comes. By then, the Su family will become the laughingstock of the elite. Yet Su Yingxu just forgave Xiao Zin like that. I really don't know what she's thinking. She's so blinded by love. Does the Su family know? I leaned close to Lu Yue, asking with a curious face. What are you thinking? I'm just thinking that since it caused such a huge scene, the Su family probably knows all about it. They are a prominent family after all, becoming a joke in high society because of a man. Tell me, what will happen to Su Yingxu when she gets home? Lu Yue said with interest. Regarding this, I seriously recalled the original plot, rubbing my chin and saying, a beating at home is definitely unavoidable. In the original story, after the Su family found out, they ordered her to cut ties with Xiao Zin because she refused. She was punished to kneel in the ancestral hall. If not for the fact that she still had some ability, her position as heir would have been revoked and given to her younger brother. Lu Yue nodded understandingly. So that's how it is. On the other side, as soon as Su Yingxu got home, she saw Grandpa Su sitting there holding a rattan cane, with everyone in the family present. Seeing this setup, Su Yingxu knew that today's matter wouldn't pass easily. Grandpa Su fiercely disciplined Su Yingxu, and when he heard Su Yingxu still defending Xiao Zin, he got even angrier. He wanted to say more, but heard Su Yingxu's phone ringing incessantly. Su Yingxu frowned. Does Xiao Zin have no sense of timing? Calling like his collecting a debt at a time like this? Put it on speaker. I want to see what Xiao Zin has to say. Su Yingxu had no other choice, helplessly taking out her phone. As soon as she answered and put it on speaker, Xiao Zin's aggrieved voice came through. Yingxu, are you angry with me, or are Grandpa Su and the others unhappy with me? Let me explain this to them. Okay, Xiao Zin thought the one listening was Su Yingxu, so he spoke casually, acting aggrieved. I have something to handle here. Wait until I'm done and I'll call you back. As soon as Su Yingxu heard Xiao Zin's words, she felt a headache, wanting to hang up quickly. No, I have to explain clearly to Grandpa Su. What if Grandpa Su misunderstands you? I told you, it's clearly because they did prepare enough money. How can it be related to you? Yingxu, Grandpa Su is clearly deliberately making things difficult for you, Xiao Zin said discontentedly. Hearing Xiao Zin say these words, the Su family members were so angry they laughed. Su Yingxu's face became extremely gloomy. Xiao Zin, stop talking nonsense. I'm not wrong. Such a small matter. Do they need to be that angry? Yingxu, I know I was wrong. Don't be mad anymore. Okay, come out now, and let's go for a walk. Okay, Xiao Zin said fawningly, thinking that once Su Yingxu came out, he could just coax her with a few words, and this matter would be over. Grandpa Su laughed coldly and said, Xiao Zin, the Su family's business does not need an outsider like you interfering. While pretending to be pitiful, Xiao Zin suddenly heard Grandpa Su's voice. His face changed instantly. Xiao Zin, you really know how to pretend. You deliberately caused this, and now you come to apologize and explain. Our family is being laughed at by so many people. Do you think a simple apology can solve that? Xiao Zin's face turned pale, his voice trembling slightly. Yingxu, why did you let Grandpa Su hear our call? They heard it. When Xiao Zin said this, his voice became a bit shrill. Even disbelief, just thinking that the words he said, were all heard by Grandpa Su and everyone else. Xiao Zin wished he could just faint on the spot. Here? Xiao, this old man cannot bear being called Grandpa by you. I heard that at the auction. Yingshu bought Mir Xiao an expensive piece of jewelry. I hope Xiao will return the item that us poor people spent money to buy. Also, here? Xiao, please do not look for Yingshu anymore. Our Su family is not worthy of a rich person like you. Here? Xiao, Grandpa Su said expressionlessly. Su Yingshu wanted to say something, was suppressed by a gentle glance from Grandpa Su, not daring to say another word. As soon as Xiao Zin heard that Grandpa Su demanded the return of the item, he frantically said, Yingshu, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to say that. Can you forgive me? Didn't mean to. Today's incidents, is there any of them that you didn't do on purpose? Su Yingshu also felt a bit annoyed. Xiao Zin's action made her feel like she was being slapped hard in the face. Actually, Xiao Zin really did it on purpose. Saying those words just now was to drive a wedge between Su Yingshu and her family, so Su Yingshu would pity him more and wouldn't stay mad at him over this. Now Su Yingshu, with one sentence, exposed his petty schemes. Xiao Zin quickly calmed down, saying aggrievedly, Yingshu, at this point, you still misunderstand me. You know very well I'm not that kind of person, whether you are or not. You know best. Su Yingshu didn't want to say another word to Xiao Zin and hung up directly. When he called back again, Su Yingshu didn't answer. Grandpa Su looked at Su Yingshu, speaking coldly. Su Yingshu, is this the person you wanted to protect, even by gambling your future? Jiang Yichen is such a good young man, compared to a money grubber like Xiao Zin. In what way is he not better? Because of this, Su Yingshu said nothing. Thinking of my good points from before, her mood was a bit complicated, even carrying a faint trace of regret. Now I give you two choices. First, give up your status as the family heir. After all, our family doesn't need an heir who can distinguish right from wrong like you. Second, listen to us, get engaged to the person we choose. Su Yingshu naturally would, at this moment, give up the position of the Su family heir, so she had to choose to get engaged to the person the Su family selected. Grandpa, I choose engagement. Su Yingshu thought very simply, as long as she has the Su family in her hands, she can do whatever she wants later. Even if she cancels the engagement, it would just be a matter of one word from her. In the evening, waiting for Lu Yue to come out of the shower, she saw me lying on the bed laughing nonstop. She walked over with a bewildered look and asked, What are you laughing at? I said gleefully. Just now, Su Yingshu's younger brother called me, saying that Su Yingshu's power has been divided up by the old man of the Su family. Now I'm on the Su family descendants. Whoever has the ability, whoever holds the leverage gets a bit more, and all of this is because Xiao Zin called Su Yingshu right in front of old man Su and everyone else to drive a wedge between them, and even blamed old man Su, claiming they didn't prepare enough money. The more I talk about it, the more ridiculous it seems. Just what kind of logic does this Xiao Zin have? 100 billion was already the amount the Su family could put up. It was their entire working capital. If he thinks even that is too little, then how much would be considered enough? Lu Wei started doubting again, wondering how the brain of this so-called male lead is actually structured. That Su Yingshu ended up like this today is entirely her own doing. I nodded in agreement. Obviously, if Su Yingshu had just agreed to old man Su's demand to cut ties with Xiao Zin, then this whole thing would have been overlooked. But in the end, Su Yingshu refused. After just losing face because of Xiao Zin, the Su family certainly wouldn't stand for it. Not only that, I'll tell you another interesting thing. Lu Wei looked at me with great interest. I want to know what else could make me tell it so excitedly. At the auction, Su Yingshu bought a piece of jewelry for Xiao Zin. The Su family wants to reclaim that item with Xiao Zin's personality. If they really manage to take back the bracelet, Xiao Zin will definitely lose face. By then, he'll probably have to go look for someone else. Lu Wei narrowed her eyes and said, with a person like Xiao Zin, there's definitely not just Su Yingshu by his side. Now that Su Yingshu's status as heir has been revoked, the benefits she brings to Xiao Zin are even smaller. Xiao Zin's ambition is so great, he certainly won't be satisfied with the status quo. Listen to Lu Wei's analysis. I nodded repeatedly as I listened, feeling that Lu Wei was absolutely right. The next person to appear must be that famous director who just returned to the country. That person. It was right when there was an issue with Xiao Zin's script that he met Xiao Zin because Xiao Zin asked Su Yingshu to invest in that guy's script. Xiao Zin ended up becoming his benefactor. That's why later on, he used all his resources to support Xiao Zin. How do I ask my wife to go steal this person and invest in the major work he holds? In the original story, that movie helped Su Yingshu make a fortune with a capital of 200 million. The final box office revenue reached 3 billion, seeing a surefire profitable deal. Lu Wei was immediately interested. Hubby, do you know if there are any other connections around Xiao Zin we can use? Hearing Lu Wei ask this proactively, who was already calculating, got excited immediately. Eyes shining, I blurted out a name. Wang Hui, he is a young director who just returned from studying abroad. He has a movie in his hands that is guaranteed to be a massive hit. He'll be returning to the country the day after tomorrow. Let's sign a contract with him and invest in his movie. Looking at Lu Wei with such expectation, I was just short of telling her outright to sign him immediately. Lu Wei leaned gently into my embrace. All right, he'll listen to you on everything. He'll send someone to contact him. Hearing that, I excitedly hugged Lu Wei and planted a loud kiss on her hair. My lady wife, you're the best. 2 days later, Wang Hui returned to the country, but Lu Wei's people didn't approach him right away. They waited until he failed to call for investment and hit walls everywhere he went, before stepping forward to ask to see his script. With Lu Wei's reputation backing it, Wang Hui didn't suspect a thing and followed them to Lu Wei's company. After finishing reading Wang Hui's script, Lu Wei finally understood why this movie would have such high box office revenue. I can invest 500 million in you. Wang Hui shot up from his chair, looking at Lu Wei with excitement. President Lu, are you really willing to invest in me? Of course, but I also have a requirement. I hope you will join my company. Future scripts that you write can all earn you a commission. The conditions Lu Wei offered were very good. Faced with such terms, Wang Hui simply couldn't refuse and agreed immediately.